So I woke up thinking about guilt, but not feeling guilty. But I woke up thinking about guilt in the way that when I finally realized there was nothing I could have done and it wasn't my fault that I lost my son or he crossed over or it was his time. So to just obviously, however you feel or whatever you think happens to somebody after they leave their physical being. So I'm not going to say that said, but I almost did. um, but how I kind of started to get my head around guilt, because believe me, for like the first couple of years, every move I made in my entire life experience from the age of 3, I analyzed. And if I hadn't done that at the age of 3, I wouldn't have done that when I was 5, which led to when I was 13, etc., etc. And that is exactly why my son died, or why he made bad decisions, or whatever it might have been. It's like this. It's talk about the imagination. When guilt gets hold of your imagination, whew, that's a crazy ass ride. But it occurred to me one day that if my son was still with me here in the physical world, would any of it or any of the experiences that I've kind of highlighted as being that's the moment that caused all of this awfulness to happen, if he was still here, would any of those moments resonate in that way or be something that I regretted? And when I really rationally sat down and looked at that deeply, no, not really. I mean, okay, fine. Yes, I had a few really, I don't even know what the right word is, because I don't want to call them bad relationships, because I grew and learned about communication, and that some people just aren't good and are wired that way, or are learning different things this lifetime. I don't know. I want to look at this differently, because I don't want to hold myself hostage to, or put myself into a blame situation for choosing stupid relationships. But I did do those things. But no regrets, really. I mean, honestly, I guess I suppose my imagination could get a hold of that again and look at that and be like, it's your fault, your fault, your fault. But it really isn't. And Z, that's my son's nickname. Z from the other side, over and over again, reminds me that it wasn't my fault. So getting through guilt, which is a completely crazy adventure, has left me still raw, but more in the receiving mode and allowing mode of healing. So guilt. It's easy to say let it go, but fuck, it's not that easy, because you kind of have to go through the process. But you will get there if you just ask and try. Like, I want to see clearly. I want to receive. I want to allow, and I want to forgive myself. Because why? I love myself. Maybe we'll talk about self-love next conversation.